Happy Facebook Live Wednesday, guys. It is my 120th consecutive Facebook Live Wednesday. I changed the time because I am in this 5-day online workshop, and I thought, I'm still going to do it. I was thinking of canceling it, but I think for August, I am dedicating 4 Wednesdays to August back to school tips. I'm listening to a lot of parents out there who are expressing concerns, worries, fears about the upcoming school year. Will their child do their homework? Will they understand the new concepts that they're learning? Will they fill in the blank? So I had to really choose 4 tips for August. And I thought I'm just going to focus on one important tip today. And this I have struggled with, guys, and it is to honor your child where they're at. Don't focus on where you want them to be. And this one I think is very challenging because we all want the best for our children. We want them to do their homework. We want them to feel interested and be committed to their academic journey. And during this workshop that I've been in, I think statistically it was something like 800 million, or was it trillion, dollars are being spent on education, but that amount is decreasing. And what's happening is alternative education is being pursued, whatever that might be, instead of going to college. I am not saying that I'm against college, but what I'm saying is, I interviewed someone and they said, he told his kids, don't let school ruin your education. And I thought that is powerful. I am an educator. I am all for academics. But recently, I am learning that what kids need is emotional learning but it's a little bit more priority than their intellectual learning. Because your child does not know how to self-motivate, how to handle their fears and anxieties, how to even be present. I mean, really be emotionally and mentally present, then they will not be able to give it their all in the classroom. And there's just a lot of fears that these children, as young as 5, starting kindergarten. I have some students starting their sophomore year, so then now they are thinking about colleges and scholarships and filling out, forms and choosing what they want to pursue. And it's a lot. So I think as parents, instead of, and I made that mistake of, really focusing on, we got to do the FAFSA, we got to follow the, finish these or meet these deadlines. What colleges do you want to, apply to? And I think just stepping back, having a conversation with your child, and instead of telling them what you want them to do or what you hope they would do, is really listen and let them know that where they're at is fine, even though personally, you might be disappointed. Personally, you might think that they should be ahead. But if we learn to trust your child's journey, which takes a lot of courage, because fears are your brain's default, right? Your brain will automatically go into the worst case scenario. Oh my gosh, what if my child fails? What if my child doesn't achieve or, have a reputable profession or whatever you have in mind? Your child may surprise you in ways that you can't even fathom, and not only have, personal happiness, but they will be able to, be a functioning, responsible member of society. And that perception is different, right? Some people want their child to be, in the corporate world. Other people might want them to be a, pursue professional, to be a professional athlete. Other people might want them to carry on the family business or be in the same career path that your family is, or has been known to pursue. But if there's one thing I really stress, it will change the way that your relationship is with your children. It'll change the stress. They are under so much stress. And when I see the stress that they feel, and that's one of my goals, is to provide a safe place for my students so that I provide emotional and mental support along with, helping them with their academics. And I can see a huge sigh of relief when I let them know that where they're at is fine. Some of them, when, schools opened up, said, Miss Karen, I think I didn't learn anything the past 2 years. And even this summer, a lot of them expressed, I don't know if I'm ready for third grade. There's a lot of stuff that I don't understand. And all they need is support. All they need is hope, that you believe in them. So there's one thing I'm going to stress: honor your children, accept your children, let them know that they are perfectly fine where they're at. And, nurture that feeling where your child believes that they are not behind. Everyone, has their own pace. Unfortunately, there's a lot of, competition, comparisons in school with people who are on the honor roll society or people who are taking AP classes. I encouraged one girl, if you really don't want to take the AP classes and your parents aren't forcing you to, she's taking so many extracurricular, like just participating in band and, doing a lot of stuff. And so we want our kids to not have mental breakdowns in their teens, or some of these are even, these students are preteens. Some of them are 6 years old, being so scared that they might not be able to be prepared for the upcoming school year because they don't, maybe their vocabulary is not up to par. Maybe they don't understand basic math concepts, but wherever your child is at is fine. I've had students who just struggled in math, and then now they're in their early 30s excelling in, a career path that required like higher math. And it just, makes me just laugh and realize that, wow, all these worries were for nothing. Because if we learn to trust not only our child's journey, but trust our journey, we are not ruining our kids if we don't say the right thing. I've done a lot of apologizing the past year, ever since pursuing parent coaching and really listening to children and parents. And then I realized I didn't have the right priorities. I did stress grades. I put a lot of unnecessary pressure on my daughters. And now my older one is saying, yeah, it's just amazing how we believed that academic success meant the world, that grades defined us. And now that, she's on her own and, excelling in life and, traveling that roller coaster journey, called life. But all children just crave support. They crave acceptance. They crave unconditional love, bottom line, because when they bring those bad grades home, they get their phone taken away. If you do take away the phone, tell them that you're not punishing. It's not a punishment. Maybe it's an opportunity to help them focus. And then the mindset is different. It's not like I'm bad, so I got my phone taken away. It's like, wow, I love you so much. I notice you're struggling with focusing. Why don't we try an experiment? I'll take your phone away for a week and let's see if that helps you. If that doesn't, try different strategies to help your child focus. I'm collaborating with an educator and a parent whose son I tutor twice a week, and I'm helping him, pretty much work on math skills, computation. Sometimes, of course, that my students need to work on, or clients hire me to help whatever weaknesses their child has. Well, his name is Malibu Dios, and I'm collaborating with him at a park in Mililani. I will share the flyer soon that I created, and we're going to have a get-together, light refreshments, and really share and have a talk story discussion. It'll be on Sunday, August 28th at 2:30 p.m. at a park in Malca. I have the exact park and the street on the flyer, but I really believe that, we just need support, all parents, no matter what age. But if you have a child in school, I encourage you to attend. It'll be 2:30. We'll be there for about an hour and a half. You don't have to stay the whole time, but we want to be there to support parents and encourage them. It's called Inspiring, Encouraging Parents, IEP. Malibu is very familiar with IEPs. I can't wait for him to share his story, but he really inspired me to get out there in the community. I'm so used to doing virtual things, but I'm doing this. It's really scary, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun meeting people in person. We're encouraging you to bring your children, because I think he has 2 teenagers who will, keep them occupied. I'm thinking of maybe doing some brain games, or having brain games be part of the conversation, but also have them actually participate in some fun, intellectual stimulating games that are fun. And that's the one thing that you can do, I'll recap, is to honor your child where they're at, not where you want them or feel like they should be. And with 8 years of teaching experience, working with parents and listening to everyone's fears and worries, we are all together just wanting the best for our children, right? That's the bottom line. We want the best for our children. And sometimes we might, I know I've done it. I've added extra pressure. I've engaged in conversations that I know did not, let's just say, didn't benefit their self-esteem, probably had them question their competence, when in actuality, I was questioning my own competence and fearing, if I did not do the right thing, make them do their homework, make them fill in the blank, that I would be irresponsible for not guiding them. And now I'm learning to really trust their journey. It is scary. And, once those of you have adult children who leave, my daughter's in California, I can't monitor her. I can't be calling and nagging her, but I'm learning to trust. Hey, Joe, thanks for popping in. I'm just ending the live now. And the bottom line was that with the main back to school August tip is to trust, right? Honor your child where they are, even if they are a couple years behind, or you don't feel like they're motivated enough. You think they're lazy. Lazy is a term that I'm rewiring and telling kids, it's because you might not be interested in it. It doesn't mean that you're lazy. It's like, am I lazy because maybe my interest is not hunting? And other hunters would be like, wow, she's lazy. It has nothing to do with, being irresponsible or not doing what you should do. It's just lack of interest. Sometimes it's lack of self-esteem. Maybe it's just like, questioning whether they are able to. So it looks like laziness when they're not doing their homework. It is deeper than that. And that's why my mission is truly, I'm just so passionate about helping parents, increase peace, decrease stress, and improve the relationship between our children, no matter how old they are, and ourselves, because the behaviors and choices that we choose impact the way that our children will be when they are adults, adulting, making decisions, how they handle the challenges that adulting provides us, what they do. Will they allow losing a job, crush their spirit? Will they, question their competence or their worth if they get fired. If, something that you feel, or maybe they feel is just, it's the end of the world moment. And I've been there. I've been open about my gift of a failed suicide attempt, which will be in a book by Sanity in Australia. And it's a book with 30 stories called The Power to Rise. And all of us have our story. All of us have struggled. And all of us as parents don't want our children to suffer, right? But I'm letting you know now, if you learn to trust their journey and you learn that their failures are not yours, their failures and their mistakes do not define your worth as a parent. I have to tell that to myself like almost every day. If I feel that, oh, maybe I should have been a little stronger in guiding my daughter to do this, or maybe a student failed to do this. And now I'm learning to say, you know what? And it's okay. It's okay if you missed that deadline. You turned it in. It's okay if you didn't do that assignment. That doesn't define you, And I know a lot of parents would be like, what? Not doing homework is really, really bad. And I always use my husband as an example. He's given me permission. Barely graduated from high school. He's an engineer at Spectrum without a college degree. I'm not saying do not pursue college, but I'm asking you to do one thing. Trust your child's journey and honor your child where they're at. If you have any questions, please message me. Follow me on Instagram, Letting Go with Aloha, TikTok, Letting Go with Aloha. Check out my website, also Letting Go with Aloha. Thanks, guys. Bye.